Hey kids, welcome back to another week of Oldman Plays CFL Fantasy. And frankly, I'm a little less confident this week. 73.7 points last week. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was a low-scoring week for everybody. The points weren't to be had out there, but I trusted Nathan. That didn't work. The players I had, I don't know about. So anyway, moving ahead to this week, I don't know that I've checked. I think I'm up against Craig Colbeck from the CFC, the Canadian Football Countdown, and he's one of the higher ones. My last few weeks here are all against players that are, I think, a little higher in the standings than I am. So it's going to be interesting seeing if I can hold on and get in the playoffs. Our commissioner, Adam Stewart from Canadian Football Countdown, obviously did a good job of schedule making. I'm sure that was his first concern. Anyway, usually going into these things, I have a pretty good idea of where I'm going. This week, I don't. I'll run through the games a little bit, and then we'll talk there about sort of what I'm thinking about, and then we'll try and put together a team. On the depth charts that are out for everybody now, not a lot to be garnered there. I mean, Zach's out, we knew that. Other than that, most of the rosters are pretty pat from last week, and where there could be changes, they're game day decisions. Like in Saskatchewan, both corners, game day decisions. Yikes, a little scary. But we'll see. So, talking about the games themselves, this is where I'm struggling with it. Winnipeg goes into Hamilton. Now, the Strebs going to be playing for Winnipeg, so you figure they're going to be run heavy. So maybe Brady. But if you can concentrate on the run, can you shut Brady down? I don't know. And then on the other side, Hamilton, well, that Winnipeg defense held Saskatchewan to basically field goals a week ago. But I don't know that they pushed it. And I think Hamilton's probably not a bad choice to pick up some players on. I think I'll be going with Bo this week. That's one of the things I do know. Bo is kind of like my running game. When things start going wrong, you go back to the running game because you know what you can do. Bo's been solid for me all year. Will he get me enough to be the top player in the league? I don't know, but I think that's what I'll be doing there. And I don't know who Kenny Lawler against a Marcio Houston, whose first game back in, a lot of rest to shake off. That may seem like a tempting thing, but I don't know if I can afford Kenny. It's really going to be building this on the fly. Anyway, Ottawa and BC. It seems like a no-brainer. BC in the stadium, good weather. Nathan will just carve them up, right? But I felt like it was a no-brainer last week, and look at the egg they laid. And will they win? I don't know. I honestly don't know if Ottawa's got a second win in them in those circumstances, going all that way out west, playing the same team twice and all that. But I don't know how much of what happened last week was wind and rain and how much was what Ottawa defense was doing to Nathan. And without the all-24 look, it's hard to tell. So I'm very leery about going back to Nathan. And on the other side, Dustin, Mr. Crumb, the Mr. Crumback. I'm officially naming his fans the Crumblers because, I don't know, it just works. And I'm one of them. I love him, but I can't count on him running in a couple of touchdowns again. And so I'm just not sure. The running game, BC, again, with Butler there, he's the top running back in the league, but Ottawa's the second best run defense. So don't know that I want to go that way. Which brings us to Edmonton at Toronto. Now, this is a very tempting one because Arbuckle is in there, and I have a feeling he's going to do just fine. But that Edmonton defense did play well last week, so we'll have to look at that a little bit. I like Jumpin' Jake Herslop. I think I want to try and put him on the team. And Rankin's hit and miss. Some Some games he's hundreds of points, it seems like. Some games he almost doesn't get used. But lately, it's been more used than not used, and Toronto's got the worst run defense in the league. So I'm thinking he's another one that I want to get on the team. Those are but the only ones I think I've got is my anchor points, and we'll see. Again, nothing really too much new there. It's just a matter of who performs and who doesn't. And then the final one, Montreal. Well, Montreal's brought back MBT, which, if Saskatchewan is got two backup corners in there, MBT's an experienced quarterback. He may pick them apart. We'll have to see. I'm going the other way. Well, Bell ran for 320 million yards against Montreal last week. But I don't know that I'll see AJ doing that as well. He's good, but I'm not sure that I think he'll get another 70, 80-yard game, and they'll control it along the ground. They're talking about it being a little bit rainy and stuff, so we'll see. On the Montreal side, depending on where someone like maybe a Philpott is in the price, that might be worth a little bit of a flyer, because MBT may get him the ball a few times. So anyway, that's like, as you can tell, I'm not certain this week. I don't know, so let's fire up, pick them on the old computer here, take a look at what we get, and figure out where we're going. Going to be building this on the fly. Let's see where we go to here. Bo Levi Mitchell is going to cost me 15. That makes sense. I said I wouldn't mind Justin Rankin in here. He's probably going to be expensive too. 14.9, I believe. Yeah, okay. And then Jumpin' Jake Herslow, I thought, who is at 8.2. So that leaves us now $30K for 4 positions. If my math is right, that tells me that's about 7.5 per position. So where do we go from there? Wide receivers. I did say we might want to take a look here and see what Mr. Philpott's going for. He's 11.5, and Austin Mack is 8.2. Let's go for Mack. He's a little more within that reasonable range. We're getting closer to where we need to be. Okay, so running backs. Who else can I get that's not too ridiculous? Brown is 9.5. Sorry, guys, there is these from Montreal who might be a way to go, but let's, for now, Brown worked for me the other week. Let's put him in there now. So now we're down to 12 for these. So let's look at the defense, and let's go just strictly by price and see what the cheapest ones are again. BC and Ottawa, go figure. And we get up to Montreal, 5, and then Hamilton against the Strev. Let's put them in. How much does that leave us now? 6.6 to get someone else. Oh, dear. On this, so let's go over here to Hamilton. Price range here. 6. So we're on the low end of that price range, and that gives us Bridges or Robinson. What about if I go with Bridges? I don't know if I feel great about this, but I think maybe I do. So I'm going with that Hamilton Tiger Cat defense. Hopefully they pick off the Strev a few times. Bo Levi Mitchell of Hamilton is my captain and quarterback. He's going to be the anchor. Running backs, Rankin from Edmonton and Brown from Toronto. So the running in that game, we'll see how it goes. And then my receivers, I've got Jumpin' Jake Herslow out of Toronto and Mack from Montreal. And in the flex, Shamar Bridges from Hamilton. Let's lock it in. We'll see how it goes. Alrighty. That's it. Them's my picks. As always, the usual disclaimer, use them at your peril. After last week, I don't know how much of my advice I'd be taking. But that's it. Looks like it could be a little bit of a questionable weekend. 3 of the 4 games, the point spread is either right at 7 points or over it. The only one that's at all close, frankly, is Edmonton at Toronto, and I think they're Toronto minus, I think, 3.5 or 4, but the others are all big spreads, but I don't have that kind of confidence. Last I heard the Lions were, -9? I don't do the betting anyway. Lions had to win by 9 points to win the bets on that one, and I'm just baffled. And I'm babbling, there's no reason to keep me here for that. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope we all enjoy some great football, and I hope you have a lot of luck with your fantasy and pick'em. Until next week, Oldman signing off.